Okay, are we rolling? That's rolling. Wait, is that even rolling? I'm recording this video on the GH5. Sorry about the audio and the lighting. I know it sucks. I'm not recording on a specific picture profile on the GH5, so it is just the standard color out of the GH5. I'm working with what I have. Let's make this work for this video. Let me show you my setup. I hate Micro Four Thirds. If you guys love Micro Four Thirds, I'm really sorry, but it sucks. I had to put my tripod way out there just to record this video. And also, sorry for the background noise. There's just people coming in and out of the house, and I'm renting a room. So here's my setup. GH5 on the iFootage TA6 Gazelle. On my left, Deity D3 Pro shotgun microphone, Aputure AL F7, and all the gear is on the iFootage Cobra 2 Strike. Camera videos, everyone. There are 1,000 reviews on this Ronin S gimbal. I'm not going to go into detail for this gimbal. I want to show how important for filmmakers to have a gimbal versus not having a gimbal. This gimbal is not my gimbal. I'm borrowing this from Ruslan, and Ruslan is borrowing from his friend. I have limited time with this Ronin S gimbal, so let's make this video quick. Having a gimbal is very crucial for filmmaking. It removes a lot of gear. For an example, you don't need a slider, small dolly, pistol grip, rig, and a Joby 3K. And also you can remove a monopod like this. Let's test out the difference between handheld versus the gimbal and which one is smoother. Of course the gimbal is going to be smoother, just to show how important it is to have a gimbal. Picking up the A7 III, let's do this indoors first, and then we'll go outside and test out the difference between handheld versus gimbal. So this is your typical vlogging style. So I'm recording myself. What's up everyone? This is Warrior Videographer Studio. I set it up all my gear on the table to show you the difference between having a gimbal versus not having a gimbal. And I'm holding the A7 III as steady as possible. Holding this as steady as I can. So I'll be walking back and forth inside the room. So walking forward, then turning around and walking back to the frame. Of course I can go through the pistol grip and the rig, but it's gonna add up to basically the same thing as just handheld. So I'm gonna put this on the Ronin S and do the same thing, walking back and forth in the room. So this is the Ronin S. Well, hopefully this isn't focused. Right now I'm manually focusing, so if the video is out of focus,
no. Okay? Fuck no.
I apologize. So let's just make this work. It does has weight to it, but it's not too bad. She performed very well on Saturday. I was filming a wedding with the Ronin S and it performed very well. And it took me only 30 minutes to balance the A7 III with the Tamron 17 to 28 millimeter lens. So right now it is very balanced. And the way you would know that your camera is balanced on the Ronin S is by moving it, and it should stay in one place. When I was filming yesterday and going to places from place to place, I had to hold so that the motors won't collide with each other, which is really bad. Let's power on this Ronin S and do that test of a vlogging style. Powered on the Ronin S. Make sure that you balance out your camera on a gimbal. It is good to practice without a motorized gimbal first to get down the basics. With a motorized gimbal, you don't have to tap. It does has weight to it. I am a fit person, so yeah, right. It's not that heavy for me. And I was filming all day and it was actually very comfortable to use the Ronin S. And I did sell that without the motor gimbal, the 7 Oak. I didn't like it. I also sold the Moza Mini Me. I sold that gimbal also. I didn't really like mobile filmmaking. I do really want to get a motorized gimbal. After filming all day with the gimbal, I realized how important is to have a motorized gimbal. Your footage is going to be very, very smooth. And if you have a limited time to make that one shot with a motorized gimbal, it is stress-free. With handheld or just like using a pistol or a rig, you won't get that smooth of a shot, and then you have to redo that shot multiple times and your footage is going to come out not that smooth. With the motorized gimbal, one take, you're good to go. you know that's smooth, and you dialed in your exposure and your set, and you know 100% that that footage is very, very smooth. Let's test out the Ronin S. Let's put this to selfie mode. So I'll be walking out of the frame and into the frame. I love full frame, especially with this Tamron 17 to 28. I don't have to stretch out my arm very far out. I can be very close and I'll be still in the frame, which is amazing. Okay, walking towards that wall. This is with the Ronin S. Walking back into the frame. I did not change any settings. Ruslan's friend, however, he set up the Ronin S. I'm using his features, but it's good how it's right now. It's not following the roll. It's not following the pitch. It's following the yaw. Here's a quick tip. Because you're gonna use your right hand a lot, I used a wrist, I don't know how you call this, but I used this Velcro wrist thing, and it just reduced the strain on the wrist, and it helped a lot. But what this helps is that when you're using a gimbal, it relieves the stress on the wrist, and it's very, very comfortable. The joystick on the Ronin S is very reachable and very comfortable to use. There's other features on the Ronin S. I'm not going to go into this video. I am planning to purchase a motorized gimbal at the end of 2020. There will be a video coming. I do want to review a motorized gimbal, and I had a lot of fun on the film shoot with this gimbal. And the film shoot that I did was a wedding, and that video is coming on this channel, so click the notification bell to get notified when there's a new video. This is handheld. In the footage, you would notice that with a wide angle lens, a small little movement, you would notice that the whole frame is moving. And that is what's really bad with handheld, especially with a wide angle lens. Little bump, the whole frame moves and it becomes a shaky footage. It's really awesome to have a gimbal with a wide angle lens. When I was filming for the company, it was really tough and it was very stressful to not have a motorized gimbal. This is with the Ronin S gimbal. You would notice that in the footage, it is very, very stable. It is a fluid motion footage. It looks really, really cinematic. Especially with the wide angle lens, you're capturing a lot and there's no movement on the edges of the frame. When I'm walking with the Ronin S gimbal, it looks really awesome. It is very stress-free, especially I'm visually impaired and I don't see very well. So with the gimbal, it helps a lot. And I really want to get my hands on with a gimbal that I can own. It will be a huge help to the Warrior Videographer channel and the content that will be coming to you. Comment below, what do you use to stabilize your footage? Do you use a pistol grip rig, or do you just use a traditional vlogging style Joby? If you thought this video was helpful, share it. If you like this video, click the like button, click the notification bell to get notified when there's a new video, and also subscribe. Be brave, keep your footage as stable as possible. Until next time, God. Okay, that's cut. Good.